Your live interactive Weather Authority coverage will begin shortly. Your live interactive Weather Authority coverage will begin shortly. Your live Weather Authority coverage starts right now.
Well, hello, everybody. I hope you guys are having a great Saturday. I hope you guys are having a good weekend as well. We certainly saw probably, I would say, the worst of the snow this morning. Actually, that is going to be the worst of the snow for this upcoming weekend. Many areas saw 3, 4, even 5 inches of snow in spots. That seemed to be generally about where most places landed through the daytime today. And that, for the most part, was from areas in Cumberland County up through parts of Oxford County over towards the mid-coast, a little bit less up towards the north, areas like Bangor North, but also areas in far extreme southern York County as well. There was certainly a little bit less in those areas, and that was just due to some sleet and a little bit of freezing rain that developed. Now, let's get a look outside. In Portland right now, we have a temperature of 31 degrees, mostly cloudy skies out there. Wind is calm, so that's good. We are not going to be dealing with any wind with this system, so that is great news because, yes, we could see a little bit of icing as we head through the daytime tomorrow. So you certainly don't want wind when you have ice, but I don't think the ice is going to be a huge deal. I don't think this is going to be a massive event for the daytime tomorrow. If you have plans to get out on the roads for the daytime tomorrow, yeah, they could be a little bit slick. Yeah, you may want to may give yourself a little extra time, but I don't think this is going to be a major deal. I don't know why the camera just went out, but anyways, let's get on to the next one. Winter weather advisory is still in place. This runs through 6 o'clock in the morning on Monday. You notice that dark purple over towards Vermont and parts of New York, at least upstate New York. We have an ice storm warning up there, and that runs through tomorrow evening around this time at 8 o'clock. And then the winter storm warning, that runs through noon on Sunday. So, yes, a little bit of a mess, especially off to our west. We are going to see a little bit of icing here in the state of Maine as well. Getting more details on that in just a little bit. Now, generally, most of the snow fell Sunday morning or Saturday morning. And, yeah, you can see many spots upwards of 4 inches of snow, some spots in 3. But, again, 3 to 5 inches seem to be the main area of totals for most areas, where Lisbon Falls came in around 3.5, Topsom as well. Portland, Jetport, a little bit less than 3.5, but level right around 5 inches of snow this morning. Now, satellite and radar shows that over the last 3 hours, we've seen a, real, I don't know the exact right word for this, but I actually want to go to the last 12 hours. And you can see that here, how 12 hours ago, this system was very broken up. But over the last 3 to 4, you can see it's really organized itself. That's the word I was looking for. It's organized itself over the last couple hours, and that's why we are going to deal with, yes, another round of wintry mix overnight into the daytime tomorrow. I think a lot of this will fall during the morning hours tomorrow. Again, some slick spots on the roads. We will see that sleet and freezing rain out there in spots as well. But let's zoom in a little bit closer to Maine, and you can see that right now here in Portland, we are just looking at cloudy skies out there. And as I pause the satellite and radar, you can see that areas in this dark purple that you see right here, let me point it out. That area, that's freezing rain. The pink is the sleet. And we are going to, or I might have that wrong. Excuse me. No, the ice is the pink. I apologize. That's my own fault. The ice is the pink, and we are going to see just this mix, especially in parts of southern New Hampshire over the next couple hours. And that's why we are actually expecting some of the highest icing totals for areas in New Hampshire over towards Vermont as well. We are going to see some ice here, but the high temperatures today all over the place. We had 40 degrees here in Portland, 48 degrees in Boston, but look at that temperature in New York City today. That is not a mistake. Yes, it was 82 degrees in New York City today. That's just wild to me, considering it was 51 degrees in the Hartford area this afternoon. So temperatures all over the place. And as we take a look at the numbers right now, we're still 50 degrees in New York, 39 degrees in Hartford. As you head over towards areas like Portland and Bar Harbor, temperatures running right around that freezing mark. But you notice it's 31. It's not 34 or 35 here in Portland. So anything that is falling from the sky over the next couple hours, if it looks like it's rain, it's probably freezing rain. And otherwise, it'll probably be like some sleet pellets or anything like that. And up towards the far north, 27 degrees right now in Rangeley. So wintry mix and some rain through Sunday. I do think we will see that transition over to plain rain along the coastline and in far southern Maine as we head through the daytime tomorrow. And then periods of plain rain for the day on Monday. We can't rule out a little bit of icing up towards the north and mountains during the morning hours, but overall, Monday is going to be some occasional rain. I would just call it periods of rain through the day on Monday, otherwise cloudy skies. But the sunshine will return as we head into the day on Tuesday. So for tonight, cloudy skies expected. We will see that occasional wintry mix. I think the better chance for that wintry mix will be as we head through the nighttime tonight and into early tomorrow morning. And as we get a look at some of the comments here, Tatiana, hello to you. Hope you're having a good evening. Bert, hello from Bangor. Yes, thank you for tuning in. Appreciate that. Dustin. So this is kind of a tricky question because it's really not going to end tomorrow. That's the problem. We are going to see the steadier of the wintry mix and plain rain during the morning hours. But as we head through the afternoon, there's still going to be occasional sleet pellets falling. There's still going to be occasional rain, some freezing drizzle. Things like that as we head through the daytime tomorrow. So it's really not going to end tomorrow. It actually doesn't even really end on Monday either. It's not until Tuesday that the clouds clear and the sunshine will return. So there's really no answer to that question because it's just going to be off and on throughout the entire day through Sunday night and even into the day on Monday as well. Now, Stacy, do you think the ice will cause any power outages? I do think there's the potential for some power outages. I don't think it's going to be too many. We've certainly had many ice storms that have caused a lot of power outages before. I do not anticipate this to be one of them. We aren't going to see enough ice, in my opinion. On top of that, the wind is not going to be an issue. So we're going to see light winds. We're not going to see, branches falling because of the weight of the ice onto power lines or anything like that. But I do think there will be enough ice in some areas to cause a few power outages as we head through the daytime tomorrow. Barbie, hello to you. Good evening. A nice finish to the day here in Sydney. Yes, there was a little bit of sunshine as you headed up towards the north, especially for, Bert was tuning in from Bangor. They saw some sun up there, but there was the sunshine up towards the north and central part of the state over towards like down east and Bangor areas like that. Millinocket likely saw some sun through the afternoon. But yeah, overall, not too bad of a afternoon in some parts of the state. But if you are in southern Maine, you saw the clouds, you saw the sleet, you saw the just mess through the daytime today. So here's your coastline planner for the daytime tomorrow. I think we're going to see that mix during the morning, a little bit of sleet, a little bit of freezing rain in particular as we head through the morning hours on Sunday. And then we'll see that transition over to some plain rain as we head through the afternoon and evening hours. Temperatures will run in the mid-30s for the daytime tomorrow along the coast. But for areas inland, things will change a little bit. We are going to see more of a wintry mix throughout the entire day, maybe even a little bit of snow for some spots during the morning hours. We are going to see the leading edge of the precip have a little band of snow on the northern fringe of that. I'll show you that in just a second. But we are going to see some light snow during the morning hours in spots, but that'll likely transition pretty quickly over to sleet and then some freezing rain as we head through the afternoon. So the weather warning is up for the daytime tomorrow, and it's especially for areas inland as we are going to see that wintry mix. So let's talk about it. Yes, we are going to see cloudy skies through much of the nighttime over the next couple hours, but again, areas of sleet, areas of some drizzle, some light freezing rain still possible even over the next couple hours. But I don't anticipate it to be a steady precip, steady or even heavy, of course. But this is what I was talking about. A little band out ahead of this could bring a little bit of snow at first to some spots. Overall, though, it is going to just generally be a quick round of snow transitioning over to some sleet and freezing rain. And as we head through the morning hours, 10, 11 o'clock, yes, we're dealing with A little bit of snow for some spots on the northern fringe of the precip, but then that pink shading indicating that mix, indicating the sleet and freezing rain through the morning hours. But it's going to be off and on. It's going to be steadier during the morning as compared to the afternoon, but I do think it will still be off and on as we head through the daytime tomorrow. But as we head into the afternoon, it is going to lighten up just a little bit, especially in southern areas. But if you are in the southern part of the state, 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, it's pretty much going to be all plain rain. But I've been saying this, and I don't know if you were watching this earlier, you saw the 6 o'clock show. Just pretend everything's freezing rain tomorrow. That's the way to do it. You don't want to assume everything is just plain rain, even in the southern part of the state, because you want to be on guard. You want to make sure that you are certainly being safe, so to speak. So I would just assume it's freezing rain tomorrow, because we are going to see that sleet and freezing rain throughout the area. Even if it looks like it changes to plain rain, you can't really tell unless, of course, the ice is really starting to add up. And then as we head through Sunday night, yes, the rain is going to continue off and on. So we are going to see the rain. Then most areas, Monday is just going to be plain rain across the state. But there is the potential for a little bit of icing during the morning hours, especially as you head up towards the north and mountains. But these showers will continue. Cold front passes through Monday. We are going to see more scattered showers. I can't even rule out a rumble of thunder on Monday in some spots. I think that's possible as well. As we head through the morning hour or through the afternoon. Now, here's to look at your ice potential. This is really through Sunday night. I think a lot of areas could see upwards of 1/4 of an inch of ice. And this is for everyone in the lighter pink shading. Down towards the coastline, I didn't include you in the up to 1/4 of an inch, because I don't think it's going to be that much down towards the coast, but can't rule out a couple coatings in some spots. Down towards the coastline, the icing potential doesn't look to be too big, but as you head for areas inland, it could be a little bit more of a concern. But, we've seen this before. We've seen storms that have brought, a 1/2 inch to 1 inch of freezing rain. So this is certainly not even in the top 10 of, excuse me, this isn't even in the top 10 of biggest ice storms we've seen in the last probably 10, 15 years. So this is not going to be that big, huge deal, but it certainly could cause some slick spots. And as you head off towards the west, you notice those ice storm warnings. You also notice the winter storm warnings. I think that's simply due to the fact that they're going to see more in the way of freezing rain over there. We could see upwards of 1/2 inch of ice in some spots in Vermont and New Hampshire. So here's your additional snowfall accumulation map. We could see upwards of 1 inch in some spots up towards the north, 1 to 3 up towards the far north, and then maybe some coatings as you head down towards areas like Lewiston, Augusta, south through the mid-coast, Portland, Portsmouth, areas like that. Maybe some coatings. And really the only time that you're probably going to see that snow is when the precip moves north tomorrow morning. There's going to be that little band of snow during the morning hours in spots. So yeah, there could be some coatings in spots. That would be about it. But this isn't going to be a big deal snowfall wise as we head through the daytime tomorrow. Again, most of the snow, I would say 95% or even more than that, fell this morning when we saw, again, 3 to 5 inches from many areas. So Crystal, hello to you. I hope you're having a good evening. Do you think there will be ice in Sanford? Yes, I do have. I have you in the potential for upwards of 1/4 of an inch in the Sanford area. I would say you're probably, because I think you see a transition over to plain rain during the afternoon. You need to be on guard for some ice tomorrow, but I don't think it's going to be a major issue in Sanford. I don't really think it's going to be a major issue for many areas across the state, but I do think that there could certainly be a little bit of ice in Sanford. I'm not expecting it to be a humongous deal. Much of the same, Lisa, for the Buxton area. I don't think it's going to be a big deal, especially in the southern part of the state. It's really, up towards areas, especially Lewiston, Augusta, north. That's where there's a better chance for some ice as we head through the daytime tomorrow. That's where we can see upwards of, again, 1/4 of an inch of ice in some spots. Amanda, great question. Do you think the Monday morning commute will be okay? Yeah, I think overall it's going to be okay. I think the towns and cities will be out salting the roads to make sure that the ice doesn't really stick to the roads tomorrow. I would say I would assume that the Monday morning commute will be okay. I do want to mention, though, areas up towards the north and mountains could see a little bit of ice even into Monday morning, but we're also going to see that transition over to plain rain for most of the state. Now, as we head through Sunday night, that's when we are going to see that not only temperatures warm up, and by warm up, I mean like 35, 36, but that's warm enough to where we don't see freezing rain. I think temperatures warm up enough Sunday night, and we will see that plain rain, that any ice will generally melt, and that will happen Sunday night. So I would say the Monday morning commute looks okay at this point. You're probably going to be dealing with off and on rain through the day on Monday, and that's about it. When is the ice for York County? So Lisa, I would say the icing potential for you guys tomorrow is during the morning hours. Overnight tonight into the morning hours, we have the precip now starting to move on in. Let me go back. Seems like a lot of people are asking about the ice. I would say that yeah, the morning hours is the better potential for the icing tomorrow in York County. It's, once you get inland, that's when the ice is really going to continue off and on through the daytime, even into the afternoon and evening. But York County in particular, I would say the better chance for the ice is as you head up towards the north, closer to Oxford County and things like that. But once you get down towards the coast, I think it'll just be a coating or two here or there. Again, not a humongous deal. It's really not, but it is going to be something that could certainly cause some issues as we head through the daytime tomorrow. So just be on guard. That's all I can really say. Outages, I don't think is going to be a big deal. I don't want to come on here and, freak everyone out, worry everybody, because I do think that this is going to be something that could cause some slick sidewalks, some slick roads at times, but I don't think this is going to be a major issue. Now, here's a look at your 7-day forecast. We are talking that mix changing to rain along the coastline as we head through the morning, late morning and afternoon hours on Sunday. We are going to see that transition over to rain. Again, it's very difficult to tell if it's freezing rain and then slowly it changes over to just plain rain. You can't really tell when that transition happens, especially if there's already ice on the ground. So, assume it's freezing rain tomorrow. That's all I can get. That's the main, tip I can give you. And then for Monday, it looks like just periods of rain. Doesn't look too bad. Again, I think the rumble of thunder cannot be ruled out on Monday in spots. So that's it's not a big deal, but I'm just saying, I do think that there is the possibility for that. Now, Monday inland, you see how the first headline for Monday is freezing rain. Yes, a little bit of freezing rain. I really should put the AM tag there because I don't think anyone's seeing freezing rain. I probably will for the 10 and 11 o'clock show. I'll probably put that AM tag in there because I don't think that anybody's going to be seeing freezing rain during the afternoon. It's really during the morning hours that we're going to run the risk for that freezing rain up towards the mountains. That's what I want to mention too. This is only going to be like a very far north and mountain thing that we could see that freezing rain linger through 6, 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. And then just off and on rain through the day. Cloudy skies, not the best of days, but the sunshine returns Tuesday. Looks like some morning clouds will give way to afternoon sunshine. Overall, Tuesday looks like a pretty nice day. And then some increase in clouds out ahead of our next storm system, which right now, I have to say I'm putting a lot more thought into tomorrow. But that system in particular looks mostly rain for 70% of the state. This is the southern part of the state. This is coastal areas. It could start out as a bit of a wintry mix transitioning over to rain for that Thursday system in particular. But I think a lot of areas on Thursday, this is generally going to be a rain event. Temperatures in the 40s, and then it does warm up a bit as we head through the end of the week and the weekend. But just still, this active pattern is going to continue as we head through this upcoming week. Again, I hope you guys had a great evening. Thank you guys for tuning in, and tune into the 10 and 11 o'clock shows. I will have the latest update on everything. And again, I'm not totally sure exactly what time we're going on or if basketball is impacting the timing of our show. I should have probably checked that before I went on here, but I hope you guys have a great evening again and enjoy your Sunday coming up tomorrow.